Also be alert to the fact that in many individual-based cultures, such as American culture and Canadian culture and many of the European cultures, that in the individual-based culture, they're often argumentative because the it's about a matter of the individual having to build themselves and having to be right, and so to argue to win, and by arguing you win and build more success. And the argumentative nature of communication in an individual-based society is very deep and very heavy. And this is all battling concepts and who is right, and trying to convince others that you're right, because if you're not right, then that means you're wrong and that you've lost, or you're not whole, or something like that. There's a lot of thoughts of identity associated with arguing, and to maintain identity and everything else through argumentative habits in communication and interaction. And this is a thing of 3D. And by continuing in that thought, it keeps you in 3D. And if you're wanting to ascend, you may want to look at this again and look at, why am I arguing? What do I want to control the other, or do I have to dominate the other in order to have a fuller sense of myself and identity? So here's the thing about identity as well with this. So individual-based cultures often lead to very argumentative type of interaction, which keeps one very solidly into the lower 3D area. The group cultures don't argue as much because they're just trying to get along with each other. So things go on and stuff. There's other 3D things going on, but it doesn't have the butting heads, in a sense, that the individual-based cultures have, which these tendencies will keep a person in 3D very strongly. So if you're wanting to ascend, take a look at that and ask yourself, why argue and why push it? And generally, if you look deep enough, you'll see it's about identity, or it's about the desire to dominate. If you're dominating on top, that means you're more successful. So there's a lot of 3D aspects to this that you need to be alert to. If you're just unconscious, you'll never let loose of it because you don't see it happening. It's ingrained into the culture, and it's considered good, and by so many standards within the culture. So it's considered good behavior, and then reinforced to continue in that regard, and which will continue. This is why we've been in 3D for so long on Earth, is because of these things are ingrained so deeply, and we have to start looking at them very closely and making a personal decision on whether you want to ascend or not, or stay in 3D, because we now have a new Earth, island of light, to go to and to ascend to, or you can stay in the 3D if you choose. So this is a matter of choice, but you can't really choose until you start becoming alert to what's going on and what you're doing, and know what the choices are. So you start seeing what's happening with yourself and what's motivating you and why you want to do this. And then once you start seeing this, you'll start seeing, oh, if I choose this, I will head in this direction spiritually, and will raise my frequencies and expand my consciousness. And so it's a matter, choice then becomes more powerful, because you know what's going on by being alert to what are the influences here in 3D and what have been here for so long. So another important point.